5 huge ins to the team to take on the Gold Coast Suns. Let's talk about it. So as we do every Thursday, it's team talk. So let's just dive into this team and sort of tying in what I said earlier today in my, finding balance video. If you haven't watched that, watch that up here. So 5 changes, right? Of those 5 5 ins, and of those 5 ins, 4 of those guys are Premiership players. Scott Pendlebury, Brody Mychek, Jordan De Goey, Oleg Markov, and then my boy Joey Richards comes in. Now, that's huge. Like, we were starved of these players for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we were still putting up really valiant efforts. It's that 54-point comeback against the Kangaroos. It's it's beating Melbourne with Melbourne had pretty much a full team. It's the draw against Fremantle, and the loss to the Bulldogs was sort of just the culmination of all these sort of injuries coming into one. But it has been an incredible journey of what we've been able to do this season without these sort of guys in, especially for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, and we get them all back now. So like I said, we had those 5 ins, and the 5 guys coming out, 4 of them have been omitted. One of them, Lockie Schultz, comes out because he has gastro, so he had to come out. The 4 guys omitted were Charlie Dean, Finn McRae, TJ, and Reef McGuinness. Now, like I said in my Finding Balance video, it's harsh, and people, as fans, we have to expect heartbreak with selections because we've got all of these returning players, and we've still got a lot of players to come back. So we can't expect 35 players to play in the one team. It just it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. But Charlie Dean has been fantastic this season. He's been holding down the fort. TJ was good in his debut. Finn McRae did what he needed to do when we needed that sort of midfielder. Is Finn McRae's time a little bit, how's it going? It's probably for another video. And Reef is the one that's a little bit, a little bit here and there for me. Like, Reef, I love what he can do. In the VFL, they're playing him more as a midfielder. So I know he started as the sub last week, so they probably want to give him a full game. Don't make him the sub again. So they'll get a full game into his legs. He probably goes into the VFL, plays a full game as a midfielder. So I would really like to see what he can do. Yes, he can kick goals and stuff, but I don't think he is a forward. I think he's more of a tall mid. I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me correctly, that's what he was drafted as, a tall mid. So I'd love to see him develop more in the VFL. But those guys, absolute warriors for doing what they did, especially Charlie Dean for holding down that back line. Absolutely incredible. What more could we ask for a guy who pretty much hasn't played for 2 years with those foot injuries, and then comes and does this in his debut season. So yeah, good soldiers, and now we've got more of the cavalry returning. So we know that the sub is picked out from guys on the bench. So on the bench at the moment, we have Harvey Harrison, Lockie Sullivan, Joe Richards, Nathan Kruger, and Isaac Quaynor. Now, the Q being there in the sub, he still has to prove his fitness. Craig McRae said that he has the man flu. So he still has to prove his fitness in his 100th game. He won't be the sub. Of course, he's not going to be the sub in his 100th game. Well, that's what I think anyway. So I think he is really touch and go if he plays, if he doesn't play. So he will train tomorrow, and they'll pick it tomorrow. If he doesn't play, probably expect Charlie Dean to come back in, so like a defender for a defender. But the sub there, it's actually pretty hard to tell. I want to see Nathan Kruger and Mychek go about it, and Kruger as a sub just doesn't work. We've seen it multiple times already. It just doesn't work. I think it might be Joey Richards as the sub, really. As that forward guy, it'll be Joey. Harvey's done so well these last couple of weeks, so I can't see him getting, not that it's a demotion to the sub, but I can't see him going into the sub. And Lockie Sullivan, yes, he came on as a sub for the Carlton game, but yeah, actually, you know what? It might be out of Richards and Sullivan for me. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think is going to be the sub for this game? But more on our ins. Now, like I said at the start of the video, 4 premiership players, and Joe Richards comes in. To see Mychek back, the 5-time Coventry Award winning goal kicking insane Collingwood just legend, right? He comes back into this side, and we've been doing it without him. And now he gets to terrorise the Gold Coast Suns defence. We get to see what Mychek and Kruger work like properly. Because Kruger, like I said in a video a couple of weeks ago about looking at that forward line, Kruger hasn't really kept his body right since he's been at the club and when he's been playing games. So we haven't, they've played about 6 games together, and some of those have even been half games. So we finally, touch wood, get to see a Nathan Kruger that is ready to go, and we get to see a Brody Mychek that's ready to go. So you put them in with, they've got Billy Frampton in the forward line. I dare say they probably move him to the back line because Ben King comes in, Lukosius is there, Ben Long. So they do have some big bodies back Gold Coast, or big bodies up forward, but Ben King is back. So I don't know how much they leave Billy up forward if they do have Kruger and they do have Brody Mychek. I dare say they switch up Billy Frampton to the back line, like we saw last week. The interesting one for me is Jordan De Goey. Now, Jordan De Goey has been named as one of the Rovers. So I said in my video this afternoon, I said that I want to see Jordan De Goey in the forward line a little bit more. And we know that these squads, they're not usually how they are. Because last week we had Steele Sidebottom as a centre-half back. That was one time we had Scott Pendlebury as a fullback. So they just throw the magnets at the board, and just whatever sticks, that's where they put the players. So Jordan De Goey might start in the middle a little bit, but I do hope that he pushes into the forward line just a tiny bit, like in the Adelaide game, just to see what he can give us. But if they've named him in the mids, it's probably because we're not going to bring in an underdone Jordan De Goey, right? So it's probably because that he's just going to go in there and smash his way through this very good Gold Coast midfield. We always said that the second half of the season is when we're going to finally start seeing Collingwood be Collingwood again. Like, we haven't had, a stable team of our best 23 for so long. Like, I can't remember the last time. Would it have been round 1 where we played with maybe our best 23? That's when we were just playing shit football just in general. Like, we changed the game plan around a bit. So it wasn't even the Collingwood now that we saw back in round 0, round 1, whatever you want to call it. So we're finally starting to get these players back. And, when you have your spiritual leader, Scott Pendlebury, come back as that on-field coach, you can see when you sort of miss him. You miss him in that Fremantle game, where he could have sort of maybe directed the troops a little bit. And we don't draw, we end up winning that game. Or you miss him in the Western Bulldogs game, you miss him in the North Melbourne game. So having him back, and we just have to suck all of the intellectual property that he has up here for Collingwood and in that on-field coaching out while we still have the chance. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes, with that bicep tendon. He's all good. So he gives his ribs a bit of time to heal as well, because remember, he fractured or cracked his ribs, and he had to be wearing that rib cage. So hopefully he doesn't wear that, so it doesn't sort of impede his movement anymore as well. So the bicep is good, and then we've got good ribs as well. So he'll come in, hit that hard. And Joey Richards, like, what more can you say about Joe Richards? Love him. Give him a contract price, 2 or 3 years at least 2 years, right? Because every club is going to want this guy. Natural Jamie Elliott replacement when Jamie Elliott does retire. Touch wood, it's not anytime soon. And then Oleg Markov for that run. And we're still persisting with that Markov Noble. I want to make a call now. It's the 27th of June. I want to make a call and say that I don't think Markov and Noble play in the first final together. I still think they're trying to get the right combination. I just don't know if it is Markov and Noble at the same time. It wasn't at the same time last season. Maybe they want that run. I could see Markov playing if Isaac Quaynor doesn't, if Isaac Quaynor out, if he doesn't play, and then Markov moves into that Quaynor role just for this game, I can see Markov and Noble working. But if you've got Quaynor, Markov, and Noble, sort of all those running half backs, I don't know. I can't really see it working. And John Noble has gone to different lengths this season. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Markov and do you think John Noble can work at the same time together? But anyway, guys, this has just been my quick team talk, quick view on the team. It is going to be an intense game, but 5 huge ins. and it's absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see it. I'll be at the Pink Lemonade at 4 o'clock to watch the game. Game starts at 4:35 on Saturday, so come down, say hi. We'll yell and at the TV together. But until then, leave your thoughts down below on the team. Do you like it? We're starting to get these guys back. Who do you think was really stiff to miss out? Let me know your thoughts down below. And until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until the same, double shackers. I'll soup you later. Think we can go, boo? I doubt it. I get the energy, I'll tell you all about it. I searched for my spark, yeah, I found it. Make me sway. Hop, 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 Every